Hello guys, welcome to Bayliner Boys. Today we're just going to do a continuation video from when I did the clocks and refurbished them. Got a few new parts today. That's what we're waiting for deliveries. So we've got some LED lights for the engine bay, which we're going to fit in. But we'll do that in a bit. And we've finally got a horn. I've been waiting for these for a while. We decided to go for a single horn rather than a double and a longer one. Because it gives you the more bassier sound rather than the high-pitched two-tone. I put the link in for this. Where I got this. Got it off eBay. Waterproof stainless steel. So if anybody wants that, I'll drop it in the description below. Just have a look.
Yes.
What it looks like.
The big reveal.
So
it's a long boy.
too long. So there's this horn, there's this fixing, screws, clips, tube, and then the compressor, which is 12 volt. I'm going to wire this up to this switch on the dash. So essentially, this is going to sit on the inside. That's going to sit on the outside of the belt. So we only need to do is drill one hole for the air tube to go through, and then this will be inside, wide up.
Nice.
So we'll do that first. On your belt, let's go. So this is it's actually a truck horn, but it's fine for belts as well. Waterproof air horn, 12 volt, so we can just suck it straight in. We've already done the wiring for it. So we just need to actually mount it. If anybody wants to buy this one or buy one similar, I'll put the link in the description below.
Maybe not this one.
Maybe not this exact one. But all we're going to need is obviously your horn and a drill to drill a hole through for the air hose. And that's it. Oh well, obviously just screw it on as well. So when you've got everything that you need, you can go ahead and fit it. So we'll just unbox it first and show what we've got. So I did go for, you could either get bright red ones, but obviously I went for a chrome one to match the rest of the chrome of the belt. We actually debated on what type of horn we was going to get. So you can get two-tone horns where you've got two. But I think they tend to sound a little bit more high pitched, and I'd rather this sound beefier. So we've got a long. You're going to need an air hose, that comes with it. Your air compressor.
Chunky.
And that's that. And then just your mounting bits. So all that happens with this is 12 volt, positive, negative, other way around. Positive, negative.
Yeah.
And then that'll go to the switch, which is on the dash. Your air hose pushes into that, and then that goes into that. But this is going to be hidden out of the way, so we're not having this on show on the top. So the horn is going to be mounted on the top somewhere, and then we'll drill a hole through for the air hose, and then this will be inside. I think we're going to put it next to the wiper. So you can't see it and it's hidden in the toilet or the head. So yeah, right, let's find a place where we're going to mount it now. We'll see where it looks good. So guys, we've found a position for our horn to go. So we're going to put it here. We had a little debate on where it would look the best, and we've decided that here it's kind of out of the way, so that when we're on the boat we're not going to be tempted to grab hold of it if it's further over here. So that's why we'll put it here out of the way, and also in the line with the handrail, so it just looks more appealing. So we've marked it up. We've just marked it with a pencil, so I know where to drill, so we can get it secured. And then I need an additional hole here, which is where the air hose is going to go through. So we'll crack on with them.
Go.
So just before I actually drill through, I've just realised, so the wiper's here, and directly underneath it is a motor. So I'm just going to measure where I need this hole to make sure we're not actually going to drill into the motor. So we're looking at about 70 mil. So I'll just measure that inside. So this is a wiper motor, and so it goes up. Where is it? There. That's it. So it's pretty much centre there, and I need to do it that way. So 70 centimetres that way. Or is it that way? 70 centimetres that way. 70 mil, sorry. Yeah, that works. That's fine. Right, so I'm just going to drill little pilot holes first. I don't want to just screw, especially consider the size of the screws. We're going to put these in. They're quite thick. And I don't want to just screw straight in, because what it'll do is it'll just crack the gel coat and the fiberglass. So put a little pilot hole in first. And just eliminate that. So that's them drilled, and now I'm just going to drill the hole for the air tube, which is to figure out how big of a drill bit I need, so it's not too big but not too small, and it just provides a nice snug fit, so it's not so it's waterproof. Sorry. So now I'm going to drill that hole for the air tube. But I want to do it in 3 stages, so I'm going to start with a small one just to get the guide, and then increase the size. We've gone for I think that's a V. Whatever, it's a V size, I think. It don't feel right drilling holes in your boat, but I'm sure it's going to work out fine. So this is the air tube, which I want to see. I picked one that was just slightly smaller, so we'd have that snug fit. And it looks like
There's a couple, pull it through.
I might need to just give it another.
Go in.
Going so far, and then we're stopping.
Yeah, well, I'll see if I can pull it through from the other side.
It's not even through the other side yet, if I'm honest.
The bigger drill bit than
I'm only getting it in so far. So this is the next size up. This is a W size. So hopefully this should be big enough now.
Come on.
Oh yeah, that's going.
You're in.
Well.
It was.
It was. Can you have a look on the inside, see
Yeah,
if it's
saw that.
see how far it is. So it's going in, but I think the friction now is stopping it from going any further.
Right, so we're just going to pull it through now. There we go. Lovely. Yep.
Right, I was actually stressing about how I was going to connect this one first, because as you can quite clearly see, I can't get the drill in there. However, she unscrews.
Ta-da! may have said ta-da a bit earlier there.
So we'll take that off. That just out of the way.
Yep.
So we'll get this one secured on first. I'll just poke through so I can actually see. So what went wrong there is the drill bit wasn't quite the right size and it's ended up kind of rounding the screw, and the pilot holes are too small. So I'm going to take this back out, make the pilot holes a little bit bigger, and then try again, and we should be fine. And that's why you drill pilot holes, so you can see there how it's actually started to pull up the gel coat and the fiberglass. Luckily it's going to be covered and it'll be sealed by the rubber anyway, but this is why you need to drill proper pilot holes, otherwise it just splits and cracks like that. So I'm going to do what I should have done the first time, which is build a slightly bigger pilot hole so it doesn't chip and crack like it has done. Right, try that again.
Second time lucky.
And also have the correct head. There we go. We don't want it to spin. Actually, before I fully secure that in, nice, yeah, so that works. Okay, just wanted to make sure that all lined up properly. Obviously make sure the rubber is lined up underneath, because that's what's going to give you your watertight seal. Harder than it looks. There we go. That's nice and secure.
Nice.
And then we just want to line that up with those holes, like so. Perfect. That fits fine. It's not touching there, so that's good. And that should connect up like that. Nice one. Right, let's get two more screws. Right, so we're just going to put this rubber seal underneath. Make sure it's lined up with the holes. Which is so that's that one in. There we go, they're both in the holes. And the rubber is... Rubber's actually slightly smart, but it don't really matter because...
As long as it's around the hole.
Yeah.
Still gonna form a seal in it.
There we go.
Sweet.
Right. And then all we've left to do is connect up this air hose. Well, on the outside that is, we need to do the inside. So this is just a case of push and fit. Nice. So now we've got it through. This is the air hose and this is the compressor. So all I need to do is wire this compressor up now, and the wires are literally just behind this, which is the dash. So I think what I'm going to do is just poke it through here and let it just sit on that side, and then I'll secure it at some point, and that can just be hidden away like so. So obviously we need to get the dash off so we can see the wiring and get it all connected. So I'm just going to take the wheel off. Don't worry, this isn't how loose the wheel normally is. I've just never actually properly secured it back on yet because I knew that I would have to take the dash on and off to do all these wiring jobs. Push that through. So the horn switch is here, and that's the switch that we're going to link it up to. So that gives you your power, and then that's going to be
On.
Beep. So there's the compressor. So we need to work out where the wiring is for these switches. So look at the top one. Yeah. So the top one on this is the horn. So this is where it gets a bit confusing. So we've got the horn negative is already wired in. So that's good. So we've got positive that comes from the switch to the push button. And then I believe it should be hanging around somewhere. No, that's actually connected up. So guys, after a lot of choice words, faffing around and losing the will to live, we've managed to finally wire it up correctly. So it's all in now. I'm not sure what happened before, but I worked it out. So we've basically got a negative wire coming from the fuse box into the horn to
Compressor.
yes, into the compressor to the main switch. So you're probably best looking at it from the other side, to be honest.
Yeah.
So yeah, so the negative goes to this switch, which you can see is lit up, which means it's on, which is what I wanted. When it's off, it's not lit up. It didn't do that before, but now it does. So now that's on, and then we've got positive then coming from this switch to this push switch here, and then from this push switch to the horn itself, which when it's switched on, is it on?
Yeah, it's on.
It's on.
Still lets me jump.
So yeah, so there you go. So that all now works correctly after a lot of messing around. So we'll get it all tied up, back in position, secured, and then we'll do a final test just to show. So, what a mess about, but we've got there all that together. So here's this horn switch now. It didn't do this before, so it's now got a standby light. When you switch it on, it fully lights up. So that gives you power, and then your push button is just what's going to sound the horn. So, don't know if you want to go out.
Yeah.
Have a quick. Right, remember, it's going to be loud.
Yeah.
Jump. I'll count it down. 3, 2, 1.
Oh, I feel like in my rib cage. It's alright, isn't it?
Good that.
Yeah,
Good done.
it's horning good.
So guys, that's it. Thank you for watching us install the horn on the boat. Sorry it got a bit confusing with the electrics, but it's now sorted. So if anybody actually wants to know how I've done the electrics properly, then don't ask me. No, I'm kidding. You can comment and I'll try and explain it or do a diagram for you. But yeah, if you like that, please like and subscribe and tune in next time. Alright, peace out guys.
Peace.